Hey guys, it's Mina, and sorry if I look a little bit strange. Hold on 1 minute. Much better. Sorry about that. And please ignore the glare in my glasses. Sorry about that. I had to go get my glasses because my vision is getting like really bad. Like I can't really see myself in the camera that well. Also, I can't really see what's going on. So anyway, this is not the main point of the video. So in this video, I'm going to do my top 10 movies that are based off of books. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I think I have mentioned this in quite a ton of videos that I love movies that are based off of books because I don't know why, because for me, it's so much fun to read the book and then compare the movie and how it is different from the book. I don't know why, it's just really fun for me because I remember when I was a kid in elementary school, my teacher would always read books, and then sometimes if there were movies based off of the book, she'd show the movies in class, and this was when I was in elementary school, mind you. Or my teachers, they would show the movies that the books were based off of, because it's just so much fun for me to just compare a movie with a book. I just think it's really fun. Because you get to see what's different, like the events that happen in the story can be different from the events that happen in the movie. It just makes it really more interesting to me. Okay, so I'm going to get started, and by the way, I do have some movie reviews up for these movies, and if you're interested in them, I will link them in the description box down below. I'm going to get started. So the first one I love is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which is based on the book by C.S. Lewis. I love that movie so much because it's got a great story, great fantasy, and I'm usually not really that much of a fan of fantasy films, but I really just love the story, the plot. C.S. Lewis is a great author, even though I've only read one book by him. And The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe I had to read when I was going through chemo because when my mom was tutoring me. For those who don't know, I have a terrible reading comprehension, and I'm really bad at remembering what I read right after I read it. I don't know if that really made any sense, but it sounded kind of weird. But I don't know if it made any sense, and if it did, then I just hope it did. And so for those who don't know, I have a really bad reading comprehension, so I kind of have a tendency to forget what I read right after I read it. So I'm trying to get into the habit of annotating when I read because it really helps me remember better. And I went and saw this with my dad and my brother when this came out. I didn't see it the day it came out because I hate seeing movies the day they come out because it gets way too crowded. I remember seeing Spirit the horse movie the day it came out, and it was way crowded. Anyway, sorry. So the reason I like the movies is because I love fantasy film. I love movies that are based off of books, like I said before. And I like the story, the plot, the characters. I love the fantasy in the movie. Yeah, I went and saw it with my dad and brother a couple years ago, and when I saw it, I just knew the whole story because I took notes when I was reading. So yeah, when my mom was tutoring me when I went through chemo, she had me take notes while I was reading because I find that really helps me when I read a book. And number 2 on my list would have to be Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Even though I've never really read Harry Potter, I always heard my mom reading it to my brother. And she'd read me a story, but she'd read me one of the little critter books or Stella Luna or whatever. And she was always reading Harry Potter to my brother. And you're probably thinking, if you never read Harry Potter, then why do you have Harry Potter books on your shelf? Well, those weren't mine. Those were my brother's. And like I said, he liked Harry Potter when he was younger. And my mom would read that to him. I liked the first film that was based off the book, even though I only read the first part of the book. I just didn't really get into Harry Potter as a kid. But I just really liked the movies. movies. I thought they were like fun to watch because you got the wizardry, the magic, and the villains, the different villains that come in each book. It's always fun to put new characters in a book. It's boring to put the same characters in a book. Look, I don't know, that's just my own personal opinion. If you guys like it, then good for you. Number 3 on my list would have to be The Cat in the Hat. Now, like I said in a bunch of my movie reviews, it's like, when I love The Cat in the Hat, it's one of my favorite books. I don't really think there's much of a story to Cat in the Hat. And by the way, this is just all my opinion. If you guys think there's a story to The Cat in the Hat, then that's fine. Fine, we're all entitled to our own opinion, like I always say. The reason I love The Cat in the Hat because it's got a great story. I think there's more of a story in the movie than the book, even though the book to me is just filled with rhymes. There's just more of a story to it and what's going on. And I love how they add different events. And by the way, if you guys are interested in my Cat in the Hat review, I will link that down below. Well, and I used to read The Cat in the Hat a lot when I was a kid. It's one of my favorite books. Sorry about that. Number 4 on my list would have to be The Lorax, even though I've never read the book before. For The Lorax, I just love The Lorax because it's cute, even though I cannot stand out any of the songs except for the last one. Even though I did say they were cute in my movie review, I just meant to say I don't like I only like the last one. I just thought the last one was better. I don't know. The rest of them I just found kind of obnoxious. And this is my own, like I said, this is my own personal opinion. If you guys like any of the songs in The Lorax, then good for you. I just cannot stand them. And by the way, I might make us top 10 songs I cannot stand movie songs that I cannot stand, and video. Anyway, by the way, again, if you're interested in my Lorax review, I'll link that down below. Number 6 on my list would have to be The Sword in the Stone, because The Sword in the Stone is really cute. It's one of my favorite Disney movies because it tells the tale of King Arthur, how he became king, and it has a great lessons for kids is that you're not too small, that someone small can make a big difference. That's what they always say, and I have to agree. Someone small actually make a big difference, because even though the main character is like really young and he's like 12 years old, he makes a difference because of his knowledge, and he uses his brain instead of brawn, even though a lot of men use brawn in the story over brain. So brain is better than brawn. That's a good lesson for all of us, isn't it? And by the way, if you're interested in my Sword in the Stone review, I will link that down below. Number 7 on my list would have to be Shiloh. Now, Shiloh is a great film, even though I feel it is kind of a sad movie because it involves a dog being beaten. Beaten by his own owner. Sorry about that. If I give it away for those who haven't seen it. And then he goes to live with a boy. It's just a cute movie, and I remember reading this book in the 5th grade for a book report, and I really wanted to watch the movie, but I wanted to read the book first just so I can get an idea on the story. So before you see a movie, you should read a book first. You should read the book. Okay, so before you see here's a good tip. Before you see a movie, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but before you see a movie, read the movie that's based off of a book. Read the book before you see the movie, because it's so much fun to compare books with movies. Like, you get to see the different events that happened in the story that are different from the book. It's just so much fun. Number 8 on my list would have to be Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Now, if you guys are interested in my Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory review, I will put the link down below. Well, and the reason I love this one is because it's just the same as the book pretty much. I haven't read the book, but I remember my teacher reading it to us when I was in the 2nd grade. We were just reading it because we were going to watch the movie, and one kid wanted to bring it in, but the teacher wanted to read us the book so we had an idea on what the story was like. And then after she read the book, she had us compare the story with the book. Number 9 on my list would have to be James and the Giant Peach. And by the way, I think I have a quick question. Do you guys know if James and the Giant Peach is also by Roald Dahl? Roald Dahl is the author that wrote Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, because I think he did. I don't remember. Maybe I must have gotten it mixed up with another author. Sorry, that was kind of off topic. The reason James and the Giant Peach is one of my favorites read movies that is based off of a book because it shows a kid trying to escape his cruel life he's living with his aunts, and he makes friends with like different bugs or animals. I love and then one thing I love about James and the Giant Peach is I love how it goes from kind of like, I think it's a mix of claymation and computer animation. I don't know, that's what it looks like to me. Cause what I love about James and the Giant Peach is I love how it goes from live action to computer or computerish claymation. I don't know how to explain it. If you guys have seen James and the Giant Peach and you know what I'm talking about, please let me know what it's called in the comments down below. Well, I think it's claymation. I'm not quite sure. And the reason I love James and the Giant Peach because it got a good story about a boy trying to escape his cruel life. And I love the story those stories that involve characters that are trying to escape their life because it's cruel, like Cinderella. She can't stand. She tries to escape her life with her dreams because her stepmother's like really cruel to her. And what I love about James is he like will do anything to get away from his life and from his cruel life and go find the freedom that he dreams of. I love those characters. Number 10 on my list would have to be one of my favorites from my childhood, which is Charlotte's Web. The reason Charlotte's Web is one of my favorites is because it has a ton of cute little farm animals. I used to watch this movie probably like 10 billion times as a kid, and this is mentioned in my top 10 childhood films. I remember my teacher reading this to me as a kid as well. Reading this to us as a kid, us in elementary school when we were kids. And I remember we watched the movie to compare it. So that's what's so much fun about movies that are based off of books. They're so much fun to compare to to the book. Like I said before, and like I've been saying. Okay, so those are my top 10 movies that are based off of books. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry this was so long, but I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.